When you are not allowed the same options as everyone else straight out the gate, people who've never had to experience that tend to think that everybody's got what they got coming out of high school. The Second Amendment is not a hunting law. The Second Amendment exists for exactly the scenario we're in now, where the government has given themselves too many exemptions. Too many exemptions for going to work. Too many exemptions for walking free when they break the law. Too many exemptions to our Constitution. See, we allowed capitalism to replace morality here in the United States. Most of these people who couldn't do the moral thing because they're busy getting raped by the same goddamn government as everyone else. All of the shit that they demand that you pay or you're a fucking criminal. We live in a society where you are very much dependent. Every single person in the United States who says they did it all by themselves, motherfucker, I'm going to tell you something. There are some places in the world where you don't get to sit behind a desk and have that be your fucking job. There are some places in the world, including the United States, where you actually have to perform actual manual fucking labor. Did you know that you can grow your own food? You're paying for the convenience of a supermarket because you don't want to grow that food yourself because you are lazy. And many of you say, I don't have time. Well, why don't you have time? Well, because I have bills to pay. Whoa. We talk about how fucking dark the Dark Ages were and how medieval times were. Even in medieval times, people had time to grow their own food. Why is it they had time to grow their own food? Universal health care is not a new concept. There are many places in the world where they had universal health care for a lot of years. It was that universal health care that allowed many of these great societies to actually function. Look at the ancient Egyptians and their medical. How about the Romans? The Romans actually sterilized their equipment. That wouldn't be seen again until the 1800s. Holy shit, right? So Kirsten Joy Weiss, there's this thing that she's talking about. I really want to encourage you guys to listen to this on your own and actually listen to it. Oh, see, more restricted numbers. Obviously, the cops won't do anything if I call them. Lots of documentation. Just the fact that they called is documentation. Well, they use the term mentally ill to excuse looking away from this. Well, they all, regardless of who they work for or what their job description is, tell me it's not their fucking job. Damn. Uh, that's it. Had to make sure I grabbed the right phone, you know? This is called My Body, My Choice. Yeah, right. Guns and Self-Defense. It's on YouTube and it's from Kirsten Joy Weiss. Let's see if we can make it go all the way back to the beginning because I got it. All right, there we go.
Hey, Kirsten here, and today I gotta get something off my chest. I've been hearing ad nauseum this phrase, because I'm a woman, this phrase, my body, my choice. And it seems to...
No, this is not an abortion fucking thing. This is about your right to defend yourself. About how the laws are stopping that from happening. How the laws are making the most victimized people prone to victimization. The laws are making it too easy to victimize the most victimized people in the country.
Apply to pretty much everything when it comes to women, except for guns.
On women.
So I am curious why, if it is my body, my choice, then why can't I choose how to protect myself? Now, this video is for men too, but as a woman, I hear these phrases over and over again. I hear, don't be a victim. It's your body, it's your choice. Pro-choice, choice, choice, choice. And yet we don't have a choice on how to protect our bodies. No. When it comes to guns, and when it comes to how you protect your body, no, someone else is going to choose for you. That is ludicrous. And we have a...
Now I'm going to stop this for a moment. This woman has had many shooting awards because she is very good at what she does. She has her own channel. She is shot with famous people such as Arlie Ermy. And those of you who are into like Full Metal Jacket, you know exactly who that guy is. Matter of fact, I came across her because of Arlie Ermy and the Owen gun. The difference between Kristen Joy Weiss and myself is that I was never allowed any of those rights. A lot of these rights that she's talking about in this, a lot of women who ended up dead. Well, not a lot of them. It's a short video, but she talks about women who ended up dead because, well, they ran out of ammo. If you're only allowed 7 shots or 6 shots in your magazine and 1 in the chamber, as soon as you're out, you're out. You might have an extra magazine, you might not. But during a mag change, especially if you're in a state where you know that they're not allowed to have something with more than 7 shots, when you hear that 7th shot, you know it's time for a mag change, and it's easy. Also, a lot of people like to give a warning shot. That's a bad fucking idea. For me, I was never allowed those rights. She's going to cover some of that a little bit later on in the video, matter of fact. There are a lot of people who aren't allowed to defend themselves, and the fact is that most of those people are the easiest to victimize. The police can't pretend that they're doing a good thing if they're enforcing these immoral laws and making excuses why the victims deserve it. Every single homeless person that goes through that kangaroo fucking court system adds to their numbers that they use to justify their crimes. Look, we were able to torture 2.5 million people into pleading guilty. See? Look at this. Look at all these poor saps who didn't have the money. They didn't have the money for a real lawyer. These officers and these Bollingers and the public, all of you know that you can get away with doing those things. All of you. You know who you can victimize. You know the difference between doing something that gets something done and bullshitting. You guys are mad at me because I'm screaming at the top of my lungs. What do you fucking expect? People I love very much are fucking dead. I can't go to where my loved ones are to go see them because of safety issues. All because of a label. Now, a lot of these people that you guys wanted to pretend, these people who barely fucking know me, who want to fucking slander the shit out of me, and you're going to listen to them over people I've known for 20 years or longer. You know why I stayed away from my family? Because they're predators. And there's a lot of people that I had a lot of respect for who said, you know, you should give your mom another chance. You should give your mom another chance. No. Are you fucking kidding me? Just because you love somebody doesn't mean they love you back. That's what most of you women need to learn. He beat the shit out of you. How many times did you go back? You guys are mad at me for cursing, pretending because I curse and I yell that I am a terrible excuse for a human being. No, in this instance, that is the only thing that I fucking can do. There's nobody fighting for my rights except for me. I get a lot of empty fucking words and a lot of empty fucking promises, but 4 years of abuse, and here we are. Meanwhile, those women that Kristen Joy Weiss is about to talk about, chances are pretty good their predators weren't even supposed to have guns, much like my predators. Natalie Bollinger wasn't supposed to have a gun. Ted Bollinger not supposed to have a gun. Tim Beeson was fucking a 14-year-old. You really want that guy having a gun? Nobody cared about how many times these people threatened my life. Nobody cares about how many times they fucking call me up and harass me. It's nobody's fucking job. When these people harm me in real life, it's nobody's fucking job. This is a star. Maybe she'll call me. Maybe not. Nothing is stopping my predators from breaking the law. Nobody's doing anything about my predators breaking the law. The things that I did back are the mildest things that I could do in comparison. See, here's the thing, is that Kirsten Joy Weiss, she wants to speak out for people who can only have a certain amount of rounds in their magazine. I'm a fucking hell of a shot. You give me a gun with one round, I'm going to hit what I'm fucking pointing at. What I'm best with is handguns. Now, what is the difference between handguns and the rest of the firearms that I actually enjoyed owning? A handgun is specifically for killing another human being. There is no other purpose for it. Now, sure, you can use it for hunting. Same as you can use a fucking fork for hunting. It's not for hunting, though. A handgun is specifically built and designed for CQB, that's close quarters battle. That means up close and fucking personal. That is not a sniper shot. That is not a reach out and fucking touch someone shot. That's a you can literally reach out and touch them shot. Handguns are for self-defense. A military rifle, a full auto military rifle, is designed specifically with the intention of suppressing enemy fire and killing people. That's what it's designed for. A rifle is not for self-defense. The Second Amendment is for handguns. The United States government has no right to regulate hunting firearms at all. They have made a class of victims by making groups of people ineligible for owning firearms. Now, I am for this, were it not for the fact that it's bullshit. In my case, because I was victimized, I am not allowed to have the tools to defend myself against predators who don't care about the law. They're not allowed to have firearms because of harmful shit that they did. I'm not allowed to have firearms because I told on my fucking predators. You seeing a fucking difference here? I did threaten my predators back, and look how much I had to go through to do that. I literally had to threaten my predators and the President of the United fucking States to try to get someone to fucking do their goddamn jobs. And guess what? They still didn't do their goddamn jobs. There's enough evidence here on this YouTube to put the FBI in a lot of fucking trouble. To put a lot of police officers in a lot of fucking trouble. Because all their fucking slander has been disproven by witnesses. Unfortunately, I wasn't allowed to show it in fucking court because of the term mentally ill. I told you how they would operate, and they have done so. They blew me off. They didn't want to listen. And now look. What these police officers did was horrible. But it wasn't just the police. It was also the FBI. It was also all of these government places. When I say government places, I'm talking about places that get government funding. Nicole Peralta, she gets government funding. Region 1, government funding. Carbon County Hospital, every fucking hospital, government funding. All of them. So they can't afford to do the right thing. And you see what happens to the people who do the right thing. The police outright, blatantly ignore the law and harm people. Lori agreed with a lot of the stuff that I had to say, and she's a nurse. However, what happens if a nurse doesn't do what a cop says? It doesn't matter if it's a lawful order. See, that's something that you guys want to pay zero attention to. Lawful orders. If they have to instigate you, well then, whatever they're doing is wrong, illegal, immoral, and it is not a lawful order. If police officers are trying to break your fucking wrist while you're in cuffs so they can charge you with assault, we got some fucking problems. I told you how fucked up Colorado is. I've showed you news clippings of how fucked up Colorado is. Of these things that you pretend I'm schizophrenic for saying. Meanwhile, look, I'm at fucking ground zero for this shit. You think they're really going and abducting fucking rich people's kids to make them be prostitutes? No. For the most part, they're picking girls who have a history of being abused. Seeing a girl who's got some cut marks on her arm, right there, she's going to be easy to abduct. She's going to be easy to scare into submission and force you to her will, like Ted Bollinger did and Tim Beeson did. You goddamn right I'm an asshole back. The longer it took for somebody to actually help me, to understand that every resource that I had was fucking taken away from me over crimes that I didn't commit. Harassment? Fuck yes, I did. If I'm gonna get fucking harmed over crimes I didn't commit, you're goddamn right I'm gonna harass you to tell the fucking truth. I don't have the same options you do. I don't have the right to defend myself. I don't have the right to show evidence. I don't have the right to carry a firearm. And you guys want to pretend like I'm a bad person because without those things, I do things the best way and only way that I can without those tools that you take for granted, like your family. That is a tool that helps to keep you safe. Restricted number again. Oh, call ended. It's a disgusting goddamn country we live in. The laws just make honest people into victims. And you know what? People get sick of being victimized.
Shocks. A man up in Washington, or a woman, that is telling us exactly how we can protect our bodies. Martial arts? Okay. Gun? Oof. Oh, no, no, no. Not a gun. No. Something that could equalize you in a fight against an attacker? No, not your choice. Because you're not to be trusted. You know, you can be trusted with so many other things, which are very important things, and I'm not going to get into that debate. But when it comes to this phrase, my body, my choice, no, not for guns. Recently in California, there was something that underscored this for me completely, and it was a court case for the 30-round magazine. There were three cases that they used. Two of the women did not have enough rounds to protect themselves because in California, you're not allowed to have a high-capacity magazine, which is actually a standard capacity, but they call it a high capacity because it sounds a little bit more sensational. One was in her PJs trying to fend off some attackers while calling the cops. So she's not going to be able to switch out magazines while she calls the cops, while she's trying to defend herself, and she ran out of rounds. Didn't end well. The second one was a woman who was actually shot, ran into her to get her husband's gun, fired off some warning shots, which I don't necessarily recommend, but she did. That was her choice. And she fired off warning shots, which means less rounds. And then the attackers still advanced. She ran out of rounds, and the attackers actually ended up shooting her. Now, these women were victims, and they were victims because they didn't have the tools to protect themselves. And why didn't they have the tools to protect themselves? Because some government.
They did have the tools to protect themselves. They just had substandard tools. Kind of like them folks over there in Afghanistan. They got pitchforks in comparison. Predators don't care. They don't. And you know what? When it gets to the point that law-abiding citizens realize that they have no rights, they don't care about the law either. The law is not going to fucking protect you. They're lazy, just like the rest of you. It's all right as long as it's not happening to you, and that's what pisses me off the most about BLM. It did happen to me. But then I get treated like shit because I'm white. Like these things couldn't have happened to me because I'm white. Like these things couldn't have happened to me because I have a penis. I got the same issue with a lot of these women's rights groups too. I'm trying to get the same fucking rights, lady. You have those rights on fucking paper. There's no enforcement of those laws. You are asking for laws to be put in place that already exist. Stop asking for what's already here. Ask for a way to make sure that it's enforced. What those officers did is illegal, but it's fine if they turn off their body cameras. If they abuse their power to have you injected with fucking drugs at a hospital for trying to turn them in, it's fine. Now, there's all these people who have known me for years who have spoken up on my YouTube channel. Never spoke up in court. Matter of fact, most of them did not speak up on my YouTube channel. I had to record them because I got sick and tired of them fucking making the same goddamn excuses. No matter what with Brandon, it's going to be something to do with a vagina or his family. And I have to understand that, correct? But the courts didn't try to understand that. They tried to slander me instead. The cops did not try to understand that. They tried to slander me instead. This right here. Every fucking day. And you pretend that I'm schizophrenic for saying that this shit's been happening for 4 years. Or that I've been trying to show evidence of it for 4 years. I have to get someone to go in with me who is actually gonna fucking do something. For each and every single one of these, I should have made a fucking 911 call, but they're not gonna do anything. Hundreds of them just this fucking week. Matter of fact, there was probably over 100 of them just today. Nope, it looks like there's about 20 of them today. The first one starting at 12:06 a.m. It's only 12:49 a.m. and I got probably close to 30 of them. Now, yesterday, yeah, we're talking about literally hundreds. There's at least 200 here. I mean, I am. But no matter what, for 4 fucking years, when I go to them about the abuse that I'm going through, there's always some fucking excuse why they can't fucking do their job. And then when people are dead, they're trying to hide the fact that they're criminally negligent. They chose to ignore the abuse that I have endured. And all these different places you look, how they wipe their hands clean, how they absolve themselves of their own sins, how they pat themselves on the back and tell them good job, how they celebrate after doing such wretched things to an innocent person. But it's fine, isn't it? Because they can just continue to victimize me until I have another meltdown, can't they? They can just ignore the threats, harassment, and violence against me, can't they? Of course they can. They just call me mentally ill and it all goes away. They call me mentally ill and magically all of their sins are absolved. They call me mentally ill and their assaults didn't happen. They call me mentally ill and magically they didn't rape anybody. They call me magically ill. Is that going to bring Natalie back to life? Is that going to bring Demetrius Shankling back to life? Is that going to bring Elijah McClain back to life? Is that going to bring Tibor Hatay back to life? No, it's not. Those people were all killed by my predators. Mine. Including Natalie Bollinger. Joseph Lopez didn't kill her family. Joseph was the one who took mercy on her. I wish someone would give me that. I wish I'd have been able to get a hold of Joseph like Michael Lopez. If I had gotten a hold of him first, I wouldn't have had to go through the last 4 years of abuse. I'd have been dead. See, that's the thing, is that I don't have any rights. I'm tired of being victimized and people excusing themselves and wiping their hands clean of it because nobody's gonna fucking look. Nobody's gonna help me how I need. They're gonna victimize me for things I don't know how to do. And I don't know how to do those things because I'm not as fucking spoiled as you. I don't have help in person. I got empty fucking words. How the fuck am I supposed to feel? I'm not allowed to defend myself because of crimes that I didn't fucking commit. I was forced to break the law, because the police repeatedly broke the fucking law. Fuck all of you for not fucking killing me. Because you're sure as fuck not helping me.